Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinika.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Okay, now time for you to take charge.
As always. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it went well.
Good morning, lady in red.
Good morning, OG. How are you?
Good. How was your weekend?
Good, thanks.
Great.
Yes.
Good. Good morning, Rufai. How is it going?
Good morning, OG.
I missed you over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We'll catch up.
Don't worry. We'll turn up.
Yes,
turn up.
Yes, we will.
Don't worry.
Be happy. Yes, we're all happy. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, tributes continue to pour in for the late hip-hop legend DMX, who was laid to rest over the weekend. Ahead of his memorial, a procession of motorcycles followed a monster truck emblazoned with Long Live DMX, carrying the rapper's coffin from Yonkers, New York, to Brooklyn's Backlist Center. And multiple high school students in Texas are facing disciplinary action after they created a social media group pretending to auction off their black peers on Snapchat. In India, 38-year-old Shabam Ali, who is the first woman to face the death penalty in the country since 1955, pleads for mercy after conniving with her boyfriend to kill her parents, brothers, and baby nephew. In Nigeria, the rift between the Minister of Labour, Festus Keyamo, and musician Idris Abdul Karim has set Twitter abuzz after the musician released a song accusing the minister of joining a cabal at the presidency. The minister, in return, posted their private chat on Twitter accusing the musician of blackmail. The tweet, which has since been deleted by the microblogging platform for violating its rules, has made the rounds. Under sports, Nigeria's Kamaru Usman tops the trend after defending his UFC welterweight title by defeating George Masvidal in a brutal knockout.
Of all the superlatives
And the Oscar goes to Chloe Zhao, Nomadland.
Finally, under entertainment, Chloe Zhao becomes the first woman of color and only the second woman to win Best Director at the just concluded 93rd Academy Awards for the film Nomadland, while Daniel Kaluuya becomes the first Black British actor to win an Oscar for his incendiary performance in Judas, the Black Messiah.
And the Academy Award for actor goes to Anthony Hopkins, the father.
And 83-year-old Sir Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor for his role in The Father. He is now the oldest actor to ever win an Oscar.
At 83 years of age, I did not expect to get this award. I really didn't. And very grateful to the Academy, and thank you. And I want to pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who's taken from us far too early. And again, thank you all very much. Really did not expect this.
Tindu, you told me you watched the Oscars last night. I missed it, but I've been reading up on it, and all I can say is huge congratulations to all the winners. But it is so instructive to know that everything was such a surprise. I think Anthony Hopkins' win was the biggest surprise of the night because, everybody expected Chadwick Boseman to win posthumously. But, he won the award, and it is such an incredible, historic moment for the Oscars for that to happen.
I watched the highlights, and I'm not entirely surprised about Anthony Hopkins because his performance as a man with dementia got amazing reviews, and the Academy tends to like that. I was really rooting for Chadwick Boseman. I was because he was also excellent in that role that he played. One scene in particular stands out, but. Yeah, I'm disappointed, but not surprised that Anthony Hopkins got it. But I'm really upset that Glenn Close didn't win an Oscar.
I've been waiting for Glenn Close. Yeah.
The major attraction will be the manner in which history was made.
Yes.
First woman of color to win, in a particular category. And then first South Korean to also win an Oscar as Best Supporting Actor. And I think that... all of this is very exciting. Yes, everybody expected Chadwick Boseman to win, But I thought that on this program, someone had expressed the concern about the, obsession with Chadwick Boseman. I don't know who it was, among members of the team. But Sir Anthony won this, but I think he was also very gracious in dedicating more or less the award to Chadwick Boseman. And then again, you could see that the award ceremony was compliant. It took place in about 4 different locations, from Union Station to Spain to London to elsewhere. Even Sir Anthony was not there at the occasion. But I'm more excited by the diversity also, in terms of the choice of the winners. But I don't think that's a political choice. It's more about the quality of performance and the quality of, contribution from acting to makeup.
I hadn't actually finished. Yes. It's important to say, that Nomadland won for Best Director, and that's a film about women. So this is the second woman to win Best Director. Yes. The first one, Catherine Bigelow, I watched Hurt Locker, for which she won the Oscar. Excellent, but it's a testosterone fest. Yes. So this is a film about a middle-aged woman who has lost everything and is sort of driving around America. So it's important that the woman is a central character, not like a young woman. It's not particularly what you would expect to be box office. It's more about an average woman, the experience of how women's lives truly are. To see that represented and to see that honored, Best Actress and Best Director is extremely important.
And I was so excited for Daniel Kaluuya
as well.
Yes.
3 awards for the night.
All right.
Excellent. But his speech, Daniel Kaluuya, what was he thinking?
I knew you were going to go there. Well, all right. Let's begin what's trending with the latest advisory from the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Consular Affairs, which warned its citizens to reconsider travel to Nigeria as a result of the security threats in many parts of the country. The advisory, which was published on April 20th, added some northeastern states and southern states on their do not travel list. They described the states including Borno, Yobe, Bauchi, Adamawa, Kaduna, Katsina in the north, and Rivers, Bayelsa, Delta, and Akwa Ibom in the south as high-risk states due to terrorism, kidnapping, and maritime crime. According to the advisory, the U.S. Department has limited ability to provide emergency services to its citizens in many areas of Nigeria, highlighting that terrorists may attack with little or no warning, often targeting dual national citizens who have returned to Nigeria for a visit, as well as U.S. citizens with perceived wealth. The government warned that violent crime such as armed robbery, assault, carjacking, kidnapping, hostage-taking, banditry, and rape are common throughout Nigeria. Rufai, unfortunately, this is the sad reality of Nigeria. Only last week, I read a report from Premium Times that 239 Nigerians were killed in 1 week, and 44 people were kidnapped just in 1 week by, gunmen. I mean, this is what we're seeing now. And I would just love to allude this to the fact that Wole Soyinka mentioned over the weekend that Nigeria is at war. Rufai, your take on the story.
This is what we see every day in Nigeria. It's become more than a basket case. It's a state of war. There is virtually no state you go in the country where you're not scared for your life. I'll travel across the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway a lot, most weekends. But these days, I can't see it. I can't even travel. They called me, don't go on that road. You know why? Because you have herdsmen, killing people, coming out with cutlasses, cutting people, every part in the country. I used to love the road trips in Nigeria. Get on a car, a Peugeot probably, have some good rice and chicken in the cooler, and drive all over Nigeria and enjoy the length and breadth of this country. You can't do that any longer because this is what Nigeria has become. And we can't run away from it. So the Americans are not lying. In fact, I'd say add some more states on that list because that's what Nigeria has become. And the question you'd like to ask is, where are the leaders that we surrendered our sovereignty for them to protect us as enshrined in our Constitution? Where are they? Because when you have crisis, that's why you have leadership. You have leadership because the leadership should stand tall for you in times of crisis. That's why we pay taxes, to run the army, to run other paraphernalia of government to keep us safe. It's stated in our constitution that the security of lives and property is the basic role of the government to the people. Where are they? We keep hearing, we'll fix it, but no solutions. I want a day where I can get on the expressway, I enjoy Nigeria once again and travel. But the sad reality is that this is Nigeria, and the leadership must stand up and do something. Because we are at a state of war. This has come home to roost. Even in Lagos, if you think you are safe, you are deluded. If you think because you stay in Lagos, you are safe, you are deluded. This is Nigeria.
It's a sad reality, Tundu.
Well, Tundu, you go first. No, you go ahead. Anyway, see, I do not intend to preach. Okay. I think that the State Department, the U.S. Department of Consular Services, is stating the obvious, and it's part of their responsibility to advise their citizens in other parts of the world. The points they've stated about kidnapping, about kidnapping for ransom, about violence, about maritime crime in the Gulf of Guinea, there is no Nigerian that would contend with that. You know, that's one leg of it. The second leg of it is that, in fact, that travel advisory should also be useful to Nigerians. Because there are parts of that advisory that are relevant to us. Some of the things they're saying that be cautious when you are walking about at night. They are telling you in that advisory that when you go to an ATM machine to collect money, be aware, be alert. They're telling you in that same advisory that you should always inform people, you know, to know your whereabouts in case anything happens to you. You are also being told to be aware of your surroundings. You are also being told in that advisory that they have issued to keep a low profile. Now, that kind of advisory is not only for Americans who are in Nigeria. It's also for us, because we live in a country where crime has become a major issue, where safety has become a problem, where the government has not been able to deal with the issue. So the United States may worry about Afghanistan, about Liberia, about Nigeria, other countries of the world. But I think that Nigerians should also take a look at that advisory, because there is a lot in it that can also help us. And more importantly, that advisory also said avoid large demonstrations and political gatherings. That may sound tongue-in-cheek, but what the Americans are saying more or less is that if you are in Nigeria, you go and join large demonstrations or political gatherings, you could get killed. That's like a throwback to what happened on October 20, 2020. Now, I've not seen any reaction by the Nigerian government, but the standard reaction is to say, oh, the Americans are talking nonsense, no. Nigeria is safe. Well, I hope they will not come up with that reaction, because we all know the reality, and we're hoping that something will be done about the security challenge in Nigeria. Rufai was talking about security and welfare being an issue. That's section 14, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution. To the extent that the Nigerian government cannot protect us, yes, it means that government is negligent and government has failed the people.
I think this is directly to the federal government to take note on this. Tundu, before I take your comment, we'll have to go on a short break. And when we come back, what's trending on the morning show will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the morning show. We're still on What's Trending. Tundu, before we went on a break, we were discussing the U.S. advisory against Nigeria.
Yeah, great points, Dr. Abati, from you. And there was the newspaper that you read earlier. Dr. Abati opened this newspaper and read 2 pages, just a litany of disasters happening in Nigeria during the newspaper review with Mr. Ifeanyi, just the bloodshed in this country. And what is it that we're looking at? Population explosion, severe poverty, completely incapable security agencies, I'm afraid to say, and it's just a recipe for cataclysm. And as far as I'm concerned, successive governments have sown the seeds of dysfunction, and now here we are reaping the whirlwind. It's frightening. And then, on the other hand, I also think of what we discussed last week, what makes a country accused of state-sponsored terrorism. A tribal advisory is bad enough. None of us like to see ourselves on this list, but it could get worse. And it's not hypothetical. It's actually quite possible
that
we could end up on that most ignoble list. This is worrying.
We'll take another story. In Imo State, Nigeria, following the killing of a top commander of the Eastern Security Network, a security outfit formed by members of the indigenous people of Biafra, the group over the weekend threatened to avenge his death. The group's media and publicity secretary, Ima Powerful, in a press statement, strongly condemned the attack and promised hell for all those who had a hand in the attack. The group went further to accuse the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, of colluding with the security operatives to murder the commander, simply known as Ikonso, for allegedly turning down the governor's offer to head Ebubeago, a security outfit announced by Southeast governors. Rufai, your take on this story. This is such a sensitive issue. I mean, it just gets worse, doesn't it?
It gets scary every day. You saw what happened to the governor's house over the weekend in Imo? Brazen attack. And that's what this country has become. So if a chief security officer of a state can't have security in his own private property, then what does the country become? And that's why, you see, if it's a joke or if it's anything these leaders have done among themselves, isn't it time for them to stop it? Isn't this pain enough? Isn't the fact that the country is now getting to a point of dysfunction obvious? Whatever it is that is going on, because the governor keeps insisting it's political, whatever the case might be, what I'm totally against is the violence and destruction of lives and property. Isn't it obvious? All this while, IPOB says, oh, we didn't do it. They're accusing us wrongly. Now IPOB says, oh, I want to fight because you killed one of our commanders. Just imagine the way an average citizen in Imo feels every day. I heard there were gunshots. It was on breaking news yesterday. There was gunshots around Imo State. Sporadic gunshots. So people can just be moving on the road. They start shooting. Exactly. You don't know how many people get killed every day. Is this not scary enough for all of us? I beg. It has gotten to a point I'd like to beg. Whatever it is that has caused all of this, can we just stop it? I beg. Because the way it's going, we don't have a country any longer. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. You live in a country because of peace and security. But you don't know who is safe. You don't know who is not. In a state where the chief security officer has been told that he's not safe. So what country do we have? I beg, can't we just stop all of this? Can't peace just come back?
Right.
Because without peace, there's no development.
Very well
The
said.
economy is sinking. The people are crying, they are wailing. Rome is burning.
It's so scary, Tundra. I mean, apparently this is the way the whole, Boko Haram incident started.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You just took the words right out of my mouth. There was no exchange of gunfire in that situation like we had here. Mohammed Yusuf was summarily executed by the police, but my mind went to Boko Haram. And in that year, I always remember that year, 2009, I had a child in that year. And my baby was a baby, same as Boko Haram in 2009. Today, he's a big child. And so it's scary how these things grow. We've seen how it grows. This is what Dr. Roberts was saying earlier about how she had her grandson, and she uses that to chart these events. I look at my son and I use him to chart it. I hope we have not birthed yet another infant that we cannot control as that infant grows. I see no reason why the Ikonso commander person could not have been arrested.
Exactly.
Why was that exchange of gunfire that resulted in him dying? Because those threats, they don't sound idle, do you? To you?
No, they don't.
They don't. Because they actually have taken action and they've gone to the governor's house.
Yes.
And that is a sitting governor. So what happens to the rest of us? This is what I was saying first thing this morning. There's a sitting governor that was attacked, policemen standing at a checkpoint, beheaded and burnt. What happens to the rest of us?
Very good question. If gold rusts, what will iron do? Yesterday, governors of the Southeast held a meeting with leaders of the Ohanese Indigbo. And one of the issues they talked about was mainly security. How to get a legal backing for Ebubeago, the security infrastructure that they are proposing. And also, they talked about governors, chief security officers of the states in the Southeast having protection in their country homes, in their homes. In other words, there was an admission at that meeting that even the governors of the Southeast are not safe. So if your chief security officer is not safe, is panicking, his country home can be attacked, then it means that what we have clearly in the southeastern part of Nigeria is a complete state of anarchy, a war situation, a crisis situation. That's the first point. Second point is that Ikunso Commander is said to be the vice president to Nnamdi Kanu, the head of the indigenous peoples of Biafra. And he was also accused by the authorities as having been the mastermind behind the attacks from April 5 to date in the southeastern part of the country. So there was a joint operation of the police, the DSS, and the military to attack the IPOB headquarters in Awomama village along the Onitsha Expressway to Owerri. And it was in that process that the Ikunso commander was killed and 6 other persons were killed. So I align myself with the point made by Tundu that, look, the right thing to have done would have been to arrest him.
Correct.
If he had been identified with 6 others, then they should have been arrested and made to face the full wrath of the law. Due process should have kicked in. Now, with the Chief of Army Staff and the Inspector General of Police commending those who took part in the operation and saying that the officers, 4 of them, who lost their lives in the process, did not die in vain, that amounts to the Chief of Army Staff and the Inspector General of Police endorsing lawlessness, extrajudicial killing. Now, the third leg of this issue, or maybe the fourth, is that IPOB now, through Emma Powerful, has now issued a statement to say that there will be reprisals. And they have targeted Hope Uzodinma, whom they described as the Supreme Court sole administrator of Imo State, where that's politics. That does not concern us immediately at the moment. And they said, look, he will pay for it. Now, the same Saturday, there was an attack on the country home of Hope Uzodinma. And they burned down his Rolls Royce. They set his house ablaze. That's pure anarchy. And I think that the Nigerian government, should worry about that, because this is something that can escalate. Governors will become targets. There will be crises all over the country. So they are rejigging of security architecture. Engaging officially in extrajudicial killing is not the way to go about it.
Very well said,
Absolutely
guys.
not.
Well, thank you so much. That's all I have for you guys on
Well,
this
thank you,
Thanks, OG.
Ojineka.
Thank you. I'll see you
I
tomorrow.
can still see the birthday glow.
I'm glowing.
Anyway, you did very well.
Thank you. So
Excellent.
We're enjoying ourselves.